Oh, that picture's terrible. I don't know why it's quite so. I wonder if it's the... Oh, actually, I think it's the fact that the windows are behind me. You know me, I'm terribly good with these phones. Okay, it is like Tuesday. And we've been... Gosh, I don't think I've spoken to anyone since Thursday. And it was a super weekend because our Charlie went to his new home. He was adopted to a family up in Maine who have other, they have other donkeys, but they have a mare horse and they have a Jenny donkey who's just had a foal. So the foal, who's also a little girl, is about 2 weeks old now, I think. She's called Fig. And they have a mini donkey, and he is a grey and white donkey who looks very like our Jasper. And so Jasper was the only gelding by himself. So Charlie has gone up there, and he and Jasper, they were separated by a fence, and really sensible, controlled introduction, etc., as one does. And then the little donkey, who's called Teddy, he broke in at night time into Charlie's stall, and they've been together ever since. I'm very happy. They are wrestling like teenage boys, and they're having a super duper doodah time. So that's really lovely. So he's settled in, but also he is very enamored. This is Charlie with the lady's husband, who I don't think has he didn't start out in donkeys, but he now has a donkey admirer, and he is totally taken with him, to the degree that he actually went up, stood beside him, and laid his head onto his arm and his chest. I was like, Charlie. So that's all worked out absolutely beautifully. And he will be working in therapy. They do a very similar thing to us up in Maine. And Rebecca very kindly comes out on jobs with me at times when she is available. So that's also very much appreciated. So that's fantastic. He's very well settled, and that's lovely. Which leaves us with our 4 naughty boys on Goldy's. And they're managing. Our 2 lovely girls, our mini horses, they are full of nonsense. Our 2 cows, our 4 goats, 3 turkeys, 2 chickens. What have we got? Nine ducks, and Percy the pig is arriving. We think Janine at the moment, she's got a lot of things to finish off. She at the moment is finding people to continue the Goldie's South programme for her when she comes back up here. And she is working with a few people, showing them the ropes and trying to get them onto a schedule. So by the time she's got that sorted out and up and running, it will maybe be a week, maybe 2 weeks. So then Janine will be travelling up, and we're going to be graced with the presence of Percy Pig. So that is very exciting. At the moment, now, let's face it, things change on a daily basis, sometimes a half-day basis, and sometimes an hour-by-hour basis on the farm. At the moment, the thought is that he will go in with the ducks. Don't know how next ducks are going to cope with that, because they are already a bit shocked at the fact that we have 2 wild ducks in on the pond, and they come in. They flutter in about 3 times a day. So the ducks are all sort of like circling each other, going, yeah, I'm not sure about this. The Muscovy ducks are not in the pond swimming. It's just the 3 ducks that came from Hood Pond. They're beautifully pristine and white and very happily paddling away. The Muscovies are still absolutely filthy. So I'm not sure if they're waiting for the weather to sort of like heat up and the pond water temperature to go up, but they're certainly not showing any signs of swimming or cleaning themselves off, which is a bit of a shame because they're a mess. And I don't know what Hilda was up to, but we had snow today, on and off. In fact, I was just out taking a donkey back down the hill after his dinner, and walked back up in another snowstorm. So fortunately it's not sticking, which is lovely. But yes, this is something that we don't really need to be tackling at this precise moment in time. Carleen and I went to Gloucester today, and we took Sizzle, we took Larky, and we took Moose. And it was a lovely visit, pretty busy venue, but a really nice visit. Although Carleen did argue with the GPS lady on the way up because she didn't like the route we were going. But as I was trying to explain that I was just going to continue with the lady because she hadn't actually sent me anywhere wrong yet, and that's what we were doing, and there was no point arguing with her. So there, that went down well. So as soon as we came out, Carleen put one foot in the car, turned around and said, "Time for fried clams now." So we just keyed into the little GPS lady in the phone, Farnham's. So we went to Farnham's, and she has decided that she very much likes Farnham's in Ipswich. So that went down very well. And what else have we been doing? We've got quite a lot of mud. We've got quite a lot of programs starting. We've got the worming program on Goldie's that's just about to start. They've all been wormed over here in Meredith. I've got another hoof day coming up on Meredith for Harley, for Hedwig, and for Rocco. So that's always fun. Harley is good at lifting her feet. Hedwig is not bad. And Rocco, it's middle school wrestlers united, this lot. So that's what we're doing down here. And I always love a good wrestle. Fortunately, Alfredo is exceptionally patient and good humoured, because some of these donkeys you can teach them to lift their feet, and one day they'll do it, the next day they just don't. To the extent that when Alfredo was here 3 weeks ago, in fact it was maybe 2.5 weeks ago, I couldn't get Harley or Hedwig done because Harley and Hedwig were full of the joys of spring. I had everybody else in the barn in, and I didn't actually have a free stall or cross tie to put the two donkeys in. And I very foolishly thought, it's okay, it's Harley. I'll just go in, slip a wee halter on her, bring her in, and then I've got Hedwig. It'll be fine. Yeah, no, it wasn't. They led me a merry dance all the way around the paddock, and they're surprisingly speedy, very determined, and I think they were actually sniggering as they were running, quite frankly. So they had a great time. And so this time, this hoof appointment will just be for Harley, for Hedwig, and for Rocco, because Rocco's on a shorter interval in between his trimmings, because we're trying to get his feet back into shape because they are still an absolute mess. So I'm not going to give them prior notice either. I'm just going to go in there, have them in the stall, and slip a halter on them and get them in, because I should actually by that point have free stall space. But we were totally full in the barn because I had so many getting their tootsies done. And what else has been happening? I do not know. I cannot remember. I really need to start taking notes, because quite frankly, things happen. I say, oh, I really must mention that. Oh, so the mail. So what happens with the mail now is Justin brings the mail up. He gives it to Carleen because Carleen likes to see the mail that comes in. She then has a filing system that she either chooses to follow or not. And then we have the fun and games surrounding find the mail. And some days it goes really, really well. And then she likes to test us. And you find that nothing has been put where it should be, like the MailChat check. So there is a system in place. I'm not very sure that whether or not it's just a system that we might abandon, because Carleen certainly on some days does like to abandon it. Other days you're like, oh, surprise, there it is. It's all sorted. So we do have a system, and really what we're trying to do with the mail chats is on a Monday and a Friday, Carleen and Justin should be doing mail and any packages that come in. And that means, because Carleen loves opening the mail and she loves opening the packages. So that means it all stays on the farm, and she and Justin can say thank yous and acknowledge everybody who has very kindly communicated or sent something in. So that's how that should work. Notice the word should. It's an important word in there. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I will do an update from the farm and what's going on with the animals and visits and anything else that I can remember to tell you about. And on Wednesdays, Janine is giving her update. She at the moment obviously is in Goldie's South, but when she comes back up, she'll be able to talk to you about what happens on Goldie's farm. So that's super. So that's to give a bit of variety and different information. And, you know, for the people who don't want to hear what's going on in the barns, don't bother with a Tuesday and a Thursday. If you only want to see Carleen, it's a Monday and a Friday, and that's fantastic. And I think that gives a good degree of variety, and it also just allows people to, you know, tune in, tune out, and pick and choose. So that's how we're running that. But the mail is definitely, and the packages are supposed to end up with Carleen, and she does. Justin has now decided that what he's going to do with the packages is he's going to hold them somewhere special, because if we leave them with Carleen, she inadvertently likes to open them, then doesn't tell anybody that it came in. And at the moment, I'm still chasing a package that I think apparently she says arrived recently. And I said to her, so do you have the, if you know that it's arrived, I said, do you have the picture showing where it was delivered? She went, yeah, I don't know if I can find it though. And I was like, okay. I said, well, maybe. And she said, and I said to her, do you know what day it came in? And she went, no, I don't know what day it came in. I went, good. I said, but sometime this week. She went, no, October. I'm like, okay. I said, so I'm actually at the moment running around looking for a package from October. And I'm not even going to say it was snowing in October, because I know it wasn't. So it's not been stuck in a snowdrift and is about to appear. So she had me running around, and then Justin running around looking for a package that it turns out had actually been delivered, she thinks, in October. So you can see why we're a bit exasperated with the mail and the packages system that we've had in place. So Justin seems to have this under control, and let's hope it works, because that would be fantastic. Save everybody a tremendous amount of time and frustration. So there we go. That was an important piece of information. Right, let me see if we've got any questions. Oh, there's that Hilda. She's in trouble. Total trouble. Oh, goodness. Now, hello, Carol. I've been missing you in the jobs. Yeah, Charlie's just, it's really nice because it's a smaller herd and a bit calmer, so he seems to be really enjoying himself. Yes, I do have 8 goats, but I don't count the 4 that are up the hill, because they kind of like live up at my house. So there. And they, mind you, I suppose they're still on camera, so I should include them. But we've got four goats down in the barn. And also, this is our next, my next complaint about the filing and mail system. D, there were checks appeared that you had sent to us in, it was either December or January. So I'm afraid I've just put them into the bank because they just appeared. Yeah, you take those snowmen and snowflakes away, Hilda. That was quite a shock. No, the snow did not stick, which was super. But I'll tell you, when it's blowing in your face, it's kind of chilly. Yeah, so there's a tricky one with Sizzle going on the job, because Sizzle is technically retired. Carlina's insistent that she wants to come. But unfortunately, when you've got a pram, Larky Carleen and the rabbit in the car. Sizzle spent her time standing the whole way to Gloucester. So it's really not actually the most ideal situation for her. But, you know, it's trial and error. We're all trying to get there. Oh, mud for Percy when he gets there. I'd like to remind everybody that this is Janine's pig. Oh, yes. Right, okay. So, I'm probably the worst person to be answering a duck question. But, duck-wise, from the 3 ducks that came from Hood Pond, the 2 beautiful white ones are male. The magpie duck, which is black and white, she is a female. She is a female. I'm good at this, aren't I? From the Muscovies, we have 6, and I think we've got 2 females and 4 males. And I think that's correct. And when you look at them, the females are noticeably much smaller than the males. And we have a white female, well, she's a kind of grey, dirty looking female, a white female and one of the magpie black and white females as well. We actually turn, right, so the reason we turn the lights off throughout the barn, the only light we cannot, no idea how this is wired up, the only light that we cannot get off is in the cow stall. But it's kind of like, it's a very dull yellowy light anyway. We turn the lights off so that the animals have a better idea of their circadian rhythms and daylight and nighttime. So that's why we use the night vision on the cameras, I'm afraid. So that's the reasoning behind that. Well, I don't think Goldy's really have any animals on Meredith, because what Janine and I decided to do is concentrate all of the Goldy's animals back on Goldy's farm, because that's really the sanctuary and the area that our outreach animals live and have that sort of input. So we've just over the last month or two just been bringing everybody back, condensing our numbers into the animals that are part of the program or need to be in sanctuary. Everything else we have actively been looking for really phenomenal homes. So on Meredith, what we have is Harley is part of Meredith Farm. She was adopted to here because Harley is a bit of a single Pringle and she absolutely adores her pasture here. She's in a lovely barn, and the barn, the chute and the enormous paddock, she shares with another mini donkey and 2 alpacas, and she is the queen bee in that paddock and barn, rules it with a firm but fair attitude, and is exceptionally happy. So she lives here, and she has Hedwig, who is a very small white mini donkey, as a companion. And she either absolutely adores Hedwig or tells him that he is an imbecile and to go and stand in the corner, because there is no messing with Harley. And he, for his sins, absolutely adores Harley. He just thinks the sun rises and sets with her. So that's a very happy paddock there. Then in another paddock, Kate has her horse, and he is called Tenny. He is a Tennessee Walker. I have my horse. He is a paint draft cross. He is called Boone. And then at the moment, waiting for his home to arrive, we have in the opposite paddock, we have 10 sheep, and Ted is there. Now, Ted has a home. It's just that they are upgrading their fencing, and he will be moving there once that is done. My mini mule, Enzo Ferrari, is also in that paddock, and we have another donkey, an absolutely tiny donkey called Rocco, and he is predominantly white with brown spots. And Rocco is he's actually in an adoption process, but his is taking a little bit of while as well. So that's what we have on here. And now I have to sit here and think, have I missed anyone out? No, I think I've managed to remember everybody. So the group that we went to today, they want to come and visit. Rainbow sometimes come and visit, and Northeast Arc, they have a team that like to come and work on the farm. So I don't think the farm is not open at this precise moment in time, because it takes a while for the ground to dry out, and it's also kind of chilly. So I wouldn't expect anybody to be arriving for quite some time. I hope. That would be a shock. So Janine has moved the Thursday visit to the 1st of May because she will be back then. This is an absolutely phenomenal place down in Boston, and it's a real joy to travel down there. It's an absolute stinker of a trip, because driving the trailer through the small roads in Boston with all the twists and turns is awful, and Janine handles it with style. I wouldn't even vaguely attempt it. And where this place is situated, there's a lot of forward and reversing involving the trailer, at which point I'd be stuck there until somebody came to rescue me. So Janine has rescheduled it for when she is back, and that means that we can get everybody down and back safely. So that's all sorted, but thank you for reminding me about that. And tomorrow is Aspen Hill in Haverhill, so I'll be going, and I never know whether or not Carlene's going until I get down the hill, because sometimes she's still in her pajamas and other times she's up and at it. So it will definitely be myself and our favourite bunny rabbit, Mr. Moose. Larky just loves that rabbit. It's hilarious. He's so proud. He walks beside him. It's like me and my rabbit, we're out for a stroll. They're so sweet. Yes, so Fernanda, let's hope this one actually gets left in place, because quite frankly, someone who shall remain nameless fiddles with the mail and the packages, and then nobody knows what's going on. And that's who I'm going to blame and throw under the bus. And thank you very much for doing the Henny Penny survey. That's very much appreciated. Oh, so Judy was away for a week, so I would presume that her flight's going well. She would be back next week, I think. Yes, Justin has been an absolutely phenomenal addition. And yes, I'll have a chat. Yes, Hilda, you get on with Mother Nature, because she's not behaving. Oh, I think it's the white Muscovy duck that's broody. They've both been broody, but the white one seems to be a bit more determined, which is always a worry. Thank you, Fernanda. That's kind of you. Oh, the horses that they're Janine's horses, they are going to go on to Goldie's, and they will be in the stalls that Wallace built until Wallace comes back up. Comes back to the farm, but we don't expect Wallace until later on in the year, at which point Janine will probably be back down in Aiken. So, and we also have, you must remember, we also have Tanner's barn, which has 3 big stalls. In fact, 2 of them are very much oversized in the back. So we've actually got lots of space. The goat with the broken leg, he's got another 3 weeks until his cast is off. So we shall wait and see how that goes. No, he's not really Carlene's assistant. He cooks for her, and he spends time with her. And he does bring in the mail, but we're trying to wrestle that responsibility away and into capable hands like Justin's. So it's yes, he's very patient and he's very kind, and I think that's all that matters. Flossie was taken up to, I think she was maybe in Newbury, so she's a few towns over. But I don't know if you remember seeing when Flossie came back and we had Harley on Goldie's, and Flossie came back to meet Harley, and Harley was totally and utterly non-responsive to her. I mean, she was like, yeah, so whatever. And we were quite surprised. She was just like, yeah, no idea. Not interested at all. Well, enjoy dinner. Yes, so I think Percy is going in with the ducks. Oh, Carol, I was just saying that I'd miss seeing you. Not that I was trying to drag you out, but thank you. I did put a video up, now it must have been in January, and it was Larky and Larky walking beside the pram with the bunny facing forward, and they're so funny. That's how Larky's so proud. He's like, this is my bunny, and we're walking into work, and they're lovely. So there is one on Facebook somewhere. It might have been when you were away. Yes, I presume that the people who own Angus will geld him and deal with that. Yes, Justin is very good at keeping the conversation going with Carlene. He keeps a very good eye on her. Yeah, that was actually quite a shocking meeting with Harley and Flossie. I mean, Harley was not impressed. Oh, dear. Okay, so Tuesday is not quite over, and I'm going to finish off chores on here, and then I will go back home, and I'm thinking about cooking something tasty for dinner. Not sure quite what yet, but it is going to involve chicken. There we go, chicken. And then I'll be back on Thursday. So have a lovely evening, and thank you so very much for joining me, and I will speak with you soon. Thank you. Night, night.